Sentire Media.
Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series dedicated to Venice in Italy. I'm your host, Monica Cesarato, a Venetian food and travel blogger. Join me as I share my insider knowledge to help you explore Venice at 360 degrees. In this weekly podcast, we'll dive into the heart of a city, uncovering hidden stories and connecting with the people who make Venice unique. The artisans, the writers, the fashion designers, the bloggers, the journalists, and more. Let's break free from cliché and discover the true essence of Venice, not just the monuments, but the vibrant people, the Venetians. Experience Venice the right sustainable way. You can find me on my blog at www.monicacesarato.com and across all social media platforms. Enjoy the episode and let's journey through Venice together. Welcome back to Venice Talks, Season 2, Episode 31. Ciao, dear listeners of Venice Talks. We love to hear your stories about Venice. What's your favorite place or moment in this magical city? Is a hidden calle, a breathtaking view, or a cherished memory? Record a short audio message, maximum 2 minutes, sharing your experience, and we might feature it in a future episode of the podcast. Send your audio file via WhatsApp or email at info@monicacesarato.com and just make sure it's your voice so we can share it with our listeners worldwide. Let's bring your Venice to life for everyone. Now, let's hear it from Mindy. After our talk, the new episode will begin.
Hi, it's Mindy from Quincy, Massachusetts. What I love about Venice is meeting up with friends that I've made over the years. It's always a delight to see Venice through their eyes. I usually stay at least 5 days, if not longer. It's really nice getting to know the shopkeepers and see them smile when you walk into their shop. A glimmer of recognition brings me so much joy. And of course, the atmosphere of Venice is another reason I love it so much. The canals, the music you might hear from a cafe, it's just all so magical. And getting away from the tourists is really easy. You walk over a few bridges and it's like you're all alone. I love to take photographs, even though it's just with my iPhone. It's hard not to take a gorgeous picture in Venice. The reflections on the water, the palazzos, the clouds, and other architecture, well, it makes all the pictures perfect. And of course, you can't beat the delicious food and wine. Dining along a canal or in one of the many unique campos is definitely good for my blood pressure. Visiting unique museums or small shops where each shop owner is so very proud of their craft. I was there at Christmas last year, and I'm telling you, it was the most magical Christmas I've had since I was a little girl. Thanks to my wonderful friends who helped make it the perfect way to end 2023. I'm always thinking of ways to go back to magical Venice.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Venice Talks. Today, I'm particularly excited because I have a very special person with us on the program, and I'm so glad to introduce Antonia Sautter, fashion designer, luxury event planner in Venice, creator and artistic director of Il Ballo del Doge. Antonia, thank you so much for being here because I know you're super busy. And it's so nice to have you on the show finally.
Thank you. I'm thanking you because, always sharing my Venetian life with people from all around the world is always something that I like because this give me the possibility of expressing my big, deep love for my city.
Yeah, I know. It's something that we share, both of us, and I'm so glad to talk to you.
Okay. We are passionate about our city.
I know. Sometimes I wonder if we are recognized for that, but yes. Okay, first of all, can you share a bit about your journey? What inspired you to establish the atelier and create then Il Ballo del Doge?
It's a very long story.
Good, we got plenty of time.
Yes, because everything began when I was a little girl, and I was observing and in my mother making. She was we cannot say a seamstress because this was not her job, but at that time, the young girl. always knew how to sew, how to cook.
Of course.
The girls were like dedicated to the house, and in some way they were very creative girls, like my mother, who take advantage of this and transform everything in a creative way, so that she knew she was making me the little dresses when I was a little girl, and her hands were like magic to me, like a magic wand where everything could be transformed into something, absolutely wonderful. And obviously, what I really liked the most was the little costumes that my mother used to make for me and for my little friends at that time. And, Carnival has always been a big tradition for us in Venice.
Yes.
And I can say even once upon a time, at that time, it was even stronger because it was something really and deeply felt by the people, the population.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody were like waiting this moment in order to go sometime even out of the box. And going out of the box was meaning wearing a cape, a tricon hat with a veil, where and preparing themselves to a moment of joy. The city, we're transforming herself into a marvelous stage where everything was possible. Wearing sumptuous costume, or just to go to the market to buy vegetable and fruit, but wearing something that was like telling to everybody. It was like a group something felt like because Venetian were part of it.
Yes.
Anyway, I belong to that moment, to that period. I remember when I was a girl, that very, very special moment. And I was feeling to be protagonist, because my mother was, exactly as I was telling you before, making for me and my little friends beautiful costumes. And we were allowed to express all our creativity. From the beginning, my mother used to say to me, "Who would you like to be?" And that was the marvelous journey into space and time, because I had to understand who I wanted to be: Marie Antoinette, D'Artagnan, or any other fantastic character or historical character. But what she was always telling to me: before to wear a costume, you have to know who the character you will be wearing. You will be. Because otherwise, you will not be able to interpret, to make a real interpretation of the character.
Cool.
And that was absolutely extraordinary, because this was the theater was like, I was protagonist of my fairy tale. And in that moment, I was exactly the character of the costume represent a character, and I was that character. In fact, in my journey, I was Marie Antoinette, as I was telling you, Mata Hari. No matter, masculine or feminine character, I was represent, I had to put myself into another history, another world. And remain in myself, but this was an extraordinary comprehension, of the world. Obviously, the mind of a little girl, but it was very helpful and magic. And I think this is a little bit the essence of Carnival, the possibility of go out of the box and living your own fairy tale, your own moment of theater, and Viva Venezia.
So when did you set up the atelier then?
I mean, this, in my life, I have been making a lot of different works and jobs, that took me all around the world. Um, and at a certain point, there was like kind of an occasion. Sometime told me that it was like a little bit small shop close to some square, and it was obviously falling apart. But I think that at that moment I understood that the time was arrived for me to take a little risk, but not too much, because when you think that you have like kind of a it's something that takes you there. It's not even and you become completely, you don't have a fear. You know that you have to dare, and that's the moment, and the moment has arrived. And
there's certain moment of your life that you have to do it.
You have to do it. And it's something, is a strength that takes you there, that you don't even have to think about. But it's that, that, and it happened that I just put alone on my little apartment that my mother left me before dying. My mother left me, she died when I was 18 years old.
Oh, you were so young.
With this magnificent heritage. It was like
but you were
joy
young.
of life, and this marvelous capacity of transforming, looking the world like something magic, where a piece of fabric could become the most beautiful cape for a queen. She the capacity of dreaming and trusting always in your dream. That was like the big heritage. So that at that time, after having worked for many companies, and I really felt that the moment was arrived, and I put a loan on my house. I didn't have money to buy a little shop, but I did, when you want it,
of course.
You can do it. You can do it.
Luz, I don't come from a rich family, so I totally understand. And I think it's even more satisfying when it's done that way, because you started from nothing and you created something amazing.
Exactly. And I have to tell you that at that time I was helped by friends. I'm not having the capacity of buying things to sell in the shop, in the boutique.
Wow.
Together with my friends, I was working during the day in the boutiques. At the time when I bought it, it was completely empty, almost empty, and we were working during the night, creating corsets, hats, masks.
Wow.
To be sold the next day.
Oh, wow.
And it was so successful because it was it was so different.
Yes.
And full of colors. This I remember, the characteristic of
is it the same shop where you still now?
No,
you moved.
Unfortunately not. I really didn't move. They sent me away. It was like a shock.
Okay, well, let's say you moved.
In Venice, you don't buy the property.
Yes.
Not even in Venice. You buy the possibility of staying in, and it can be staying in the shop, for a certain amount of years, and then they can just renew it or just
unfortunately, that's a problem of Venice.
That's a problem of Venice, in fact, especially for artisans.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's a major problem that the city should have addressed a long time ago, but let's not get into that. We're talking about you.
But it's also something, talking about me is always, seen, because I'm part of this. Sometimes we are very sad, because I think that artisans should be supported in a real good way, and it's not now, because in order to support, you have to understand, how to do this. Anyway,
Yes.
right. And it's a very big topic, this.
I know. And I'll tell you what, I'll call you again another time and we'll talk about this next time. Because,
Okay.
I'm writing a book about artisan, and I think this is one major thing that I love to talk about with all of the artisan, but that's another story. Let's go
another
back
story.
to your beautiful atelier and your story in Il Ballo del Doge.
Okay. So that time, attracted by the colors and the unicity of the piece of the accessorize that was that was in my little shop. I don't know if you remember Terry Jones of the Monty Python.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
He entered together with some other people in my little boutique. He found the boutique quite interesting, and he asked me, he asked me if I wanted to be interviewed for airline companies. Just a little, some words about Venice. Of course, I was obviously more than happy to do this.
Of course.
But at after this, it took me about his project, and the project was a TV program, a television program about the Fourth Crusade that they were supposed to be. It was supposed to be shot. They had to do the shooting in a few weeks, and he was explaining to me that he needed help and this and that. With the unconsciousness that is like, given by passion and I don't know what, but I saw in that moment a world opening to my eyes, the Fourth Crusade, the costumes,
you were there already. You were already there thinking of all the designs and stuff.
Exactly.
Were you?
And instead of finding people who could help him, I proposed myself.
Yes, that's a way to do it.
It's the first time that this is really unconsciousness, pure unconsciousness.
It's I call it foresight.
Yeah, but I didn't have any experience.
It doesn't matter. It's a passion that counts. I think.
Yeah, of course, but you have to know that I told them I lied, telling that I had experience and
Antonia,
I could do this.
Antonia, fake it till you make it.
And it was like what we call a white lie,
Yeah, but well, listen, I always think that if it was a true lie, you wouldn't be where you are now. Okay.
They accepted my help. There were not a lot of money to hire extras, because they were they needed a lot, so that I called all my friends to do that. They were like, they wanted costumes and Doge Enrico Dandolo and Crusader and all this. And I worked a night and day together with my friend, one in particular, Assunta, to do costumes during the night. And step by step, the world that they needed to be represented came, magically.
Wow.
And materialized. I remember that, and the satisfaction at the end of the shooting. The director of the program, together with Alan, the name was Alan Herrera, and together with Terry Jones, he exclamò, he told, it was like, everything is good, thank you, Antonia. This is Il Ballo del Doge. I didn't invent the name. He was the one. And from that moment, that was the magic moment. I understood that was Il Ballo del Doge. It had all the ingredients, the setup, scenography.
This is a beautiful story.
Everything.
I didn't realize. I thought you had like a dream or something like that. This is even better. This is so cool.
It's magic, Everything happened for I don't know. I mean, it was like I don't know if we attract what we want,
Yeah,
but
I think we
maybe
do.
yes.
I think everything you say right now is I'm looking at my life and it's like, oh my God, is exactly like that. I think is a question is if you truly believe in something and you do have a capacity of doing something, because of course you can believe it, but don't have a capacity. When you have a capacity, it does come. It will eventually happen if
You know,
if you're willing to work hard forever.
I don't really think that I mean I always been very uncertain person, not secure. I'm not sure of myself. How do you tell? I don't have
Yeah.
self-confidence.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
That's like, but I don't know if it happened to you at a certain moment. It's not even a question of self-confidence. It's a question that you know that you have to do it.
I know you
And this is our
literally right
strength.
now you're talking. It's just like you've been reading my mind. I don't
Yeah,
believe
that
it.
exactly. I
I
mean,
know.
I'm very shy. Nobody knows this. I'm very not really, sometimes I tell, I'm really, I don't know the exact word in English, but not self-confidence. Not the people, I will never tell people I know how to do this.
Yes.
It's very rare that I do. I have to think about, but there are that magic moment where my mind is not like it doesn't have any fear. It's like I have found this dimension where I know that I have to do it. And I
And
think we have to listen to our heart. It's our heart
yes.
that is
And don't you
that is
find that
talking to
you
us.
know you have to do it, but you also know how it should be done. And the way
Absolutely.
you have envisioned it, it is at the end the right way. I just think it's I don't know, it's something to do. It's a talent. I think it's one of those talents that not everybody has, to be able to recognize
It's
this.
very irrational, by the
I
way.
know, I know, I know. It's intuition as well. A lot of
But creativity is irrational. So that,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think that
So
is, yeah,
go on about. So you had this idea. The name was born in
exactly.
your head. The idea was born. So what was the vision for it initially, and how did it develop through the years?
At the very beginning, it was like a big, an event, everybody in costumes, wearing costumes, some entertainment, but not exactly as it is now. It
Now,
was like,
now I got to
yeah,
say, is the
it's a colossal.
event. No, it is the event of a year. Is the event of a carnival.
But
If a Ballo del Doge doesn't have, it's not carnival. Sorry, you
I
know.
never thought about,
Oh, it is.
that it could have, it could develop in that way. In fact, it was a very, it's a very beautiful dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Most beautiful palace. Always choose, the Palazzo Pisani Moretta was
Mm-hmm.
for more than for 29 years, 30 years. The venue, the
Mm-hmm.
magic frame where the Ballo del Doge happened. Um, but I never worked for the success
Mm.
because I'm not really care for success. I'm caring about the good things made in a good way. My mother
Mm-hmm.
always tell to me, se devi fare le cose, le devi fare bene. That's like the mantra.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And
If you
if you
have to
have,
do something, do it
yeah,
well. Otherwise, don't bother.
don't. And this was I always thought that this was a good, un buon insegnamento.
Yeah.
There was
A good teaching. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
a
Of
good
course.
teaching. And
It's,
I only did, in order to do something that had to be good, and it has to be. That had, my mission was to make people dream,
mm-hmm.
and this was my goal. And that's obviously when there were like it began. That people wanted to come. They were like faithful guests coming
Mm-hmm.
every year and asking even more. or something different from what I presented the year before.
Of
So
course.
this, mi ha spinto,
Pushed you, yeah.
pushed me to do always better, because first of all, I couldn't disappoint my friend's guest.
Of
So
course.
that every year, I had to rewrite, to write another fairy tale, to find the best artist, to prepare other music repertoire, and always more, but not more more in a good way. I mean,
Yeah, of
because
course.
obviously the scenario
Yeah.
must, had to improve. I always had to surprise, and provoke this
Yes.
wonder in the eyes of my guest. That was always has been my
Antonia,
goal.
do you follow the theme of a carnival, or do you pick your own theme for your ballo every year?
I always put something of the theme of carnival,
Okay.
but I don't follow the carnival theme
Okay,
all
got
the
you.
time. Of course,
Okay.
the next year will be Casanova, and
That's
obviously
great. But
you
come
will
on.
find
Yeah,
Casanova at
come
Il
on.
Ballo del Doge.
Of course,
But
come on.
I always follow my heart and my feeling, something
Mhm.
that I want to express, in which I will also express, the theme of carnival. But what I want to express is Venice, and Venice is always deeply present in all my events. Yes.
So, someone attending the ball for the first time, what can they expect in 3 words? Ooh.
Magic,
Mm-hmm.
Venice,
Mm-hmm.
in their elegant expression.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay. But apart from that, okay, and that was the 3 words. Well, actually, how long does it last, for example, and how is it usually structured?
I mean, Ballo del Doge now is, I mean, I changed the venue because too many guest friends asked to be, to attend Il Ballo, and I was not able to do it at the palace.
Can we have some numbers on how many people usually come every year?
400,
Whoa, la la,
450.
that's big.
Yes.
That's a big event. Okay.
It is. It's like, but it is in a very big venue.
Yeah, of
So
course. You have a whole
that's
palace.
Scuola Grande della Misericordia.
Oh,
And
okay. You
it's
moved it
not
there
at
now.
Palazzo Pisea ni Moretta, because I couldn't.
Okay.
Now the restrictions. It
Yeah.
is also good restrictions, because of course you cannot just you have to security,
Of course.
exit
Of
and all
course, of
this.
course. Of
Well,
course, of course.
I cannot just make a party for only 100 people,
Yeah.
although I would really like to do. I would like to, but my friend guests are many more, become many
Of
more.
course. Of course.
So that, and some cannot even attend because they could be more, but obviously there is no space.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I'm sorry after this. I would organize the ballo for even 1 week if I
Yeah,
could.
like the Romans used to do the parties that lasted a whole week. You can do it
Exactly.
when you have switching people, Okay, so but now how long does it last during what time does
8:30 until 3 o'clock.
Oh, at night.
In the morning.
Nice.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Lovely. Wow. And I saw the pictures and the videos, and it's like, whoa, jaw dropping. Literally jaw
What
dropping.
I like is the contamination between past and present, and with an eye to the future. I like to combine all these things. I like to mix them up, and so that it's like what happened in a dream. You dream something, but it's like kind of a mixed with something else, and there is there is no time, there is no space. Everything is kind of suspended. This is Il Ballo del Doge. It's like a kind of another dimension where everything is possible, and where you can be yourself or whoever you want to be. It's like Zona Franca.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. Listen, since we're talking about Venice, and you like me, you're so passionate about it. Venice faces so many challenges related to tourism and preservation. How do you think an event like yours contribute to sustain Venetian culture?
I mean, first of all, is sustain craft. Because there are lots of people, lots of craftsmen, people who are working all year round to make, for instance, to paint for the backdrops,
Of course,
to make all the setup for the scenography.
of
I
course,
have
because you only use local people, of course.
of course,
Yeah.
and people from Venice or around Venice.
Yeah, of course.
So means that seamstresses, they are working all year round to make all the costumes I need, and I will decorate myself. I also do costumes, but of course now I'm so busy that I'm less, and this is really makes me very sad. It's what I really like. The only thing I really like. Anyway, there are more than 50 seamstresses working all year round, for the whole year. There are artists, because I like to, all my artists, most of my artists are people living in Venice or around Venice. In terms of attracting tourism, Il Ballo del Doge attracts, the top spender. And I always suggest not to come just for that night, but to stay in Venice at least for 10 days to enjoy all the Carnevale, to go around, to enjoy and live in Carnival, not just at Il Ballo del Doge.
Yes.
That's an expression of Carnival, is not all the Carnival.
Exactly.
So that I think that it's very important, because all these people, they are not just coming for Il Ballo, but they're coming to leave Venice, to go to stay at a wonderful hotel, but to go to all the restaurants. There is an indotto. I don't know what I don't know the word in English.
Oh
but
gosh, I don't know, Eva, but it's an economical income, I assume.
Exactly, for everybody. There are 500 jet setters coming to Venice, but not with that kind of to be part of the culture of Venice.
Yes.
To be part of a tradition, to leave the city during the winter, and to live the moment that only Venice can give, the joy of life, of being in the most beautiful stage in the world, and given the possibility to play, to become a little, like we were when we were children, and we were wearing a costume, going around, living as carnival of bygone time.
Living the dream. I remember
exactly.
It was very like a few years ago, I finally got to wear a creation from Atelier Pietro Longhi that I know very well.
Yeah, I know them. Yes, of course.
Very well. And
I love them a lot.
I know, and I was very lucky because I was I was an extra in one of the documentaries where they supply everything, and I finally got to wear one of these beautiful. But I've been dying to wear those beautiful costumes like yours, with the corsets and stuff for ages. And at the end of the evening, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm happy. Never again. Because the corset was so tight.
But there are not only corsets, there are very comfortable. In my case, now that I'm not a young girl anymore, I just become
see, that's the
suddenly,
point.
Suddenly I became. No, I'm not old. No, I told,
no,
but I don't have the age to wear corsets.
I know.
I'm very comfortable. This
you know what, Antonia?
For ladies who wants to attend.
Antonia,
comfortable, sumptuous dresses that are. Absolutely elegant.
You know what the hardest part was? It wasn't so much that it was taking my breath away. Okay, that I can cope, because I was thinking those poor women in the past, I used to have them all the time. I was going to the bathroom. It was such a complicated situation. It was like three of us going all together. Okay, that's fun. That's fun. I like that. Listen, are there any particular creations or particular moments of your career that hold a special place in your heart?
Sorry, can you repeat? There
A
are some.
particular creation or a special moment in your career that is very special in your heart?
Yes, there is one. I was thinking yesterday, after a very difficult Ballo del Doge, sometimes, it's not Ballo del Doge adventures not always been,
Can you imagine?
easy. It's a lot of work behind.
Of
Sometimes
course.
there are even international, things happening, like
Yeah, of
war,
course.
and
Or
sometimes you
or
always have
COVID.
to,
Or
or
COVID.
COVID, or all this, and the things that unfortunately happened in the last years.
Mhm.
I remember once, after a very, very stressful preparation, at the end of Il Ballo, 3 o'clock at night, my guests were going away, taking their taxi and catching the taxi at the pier, and I just took like 5 minutes on the pier just to breathe. I was sometimes it happened.
Mhm.
I'm very passionate, but sometimes I'm also stressed and tired because I work a lot, like all
Of
my
course.
team. And I was happy because, but a little melancholic.
Mhm.
At a certain time, at a certain point, a couple of French people passed by, that was like waiting their taxi, and they told me, Antonia, vous êtes la page qu'on n'a pas envie de tourner. You are the page that we don't want to, how do you tell?
To turn.
To turn.
To turn over.
To turn over.
Oh.
And this, I think is in that particular moment, I was really very touched because I think that this is the reason why I do this, what I do.
I know, but it was so nice of them to say something like this. And at that
Was
particular
really,
time as well.
yeah,
Oh my
in that
God.
particular, something always happen, magic. The life is magic. And this is what I remember as very deep, from a feeling point of view. That's something that touched me a lot. Other things, there are millions of anecdotes, like Muslim guest who wanted to dress up, obviously completely incognito, as a pope.
No way. Okay,
Yes.
this is so cool.
But completely anonymous,
Of
nobody.
course, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so fun. I would have been at the moment when he asked you, you must have found so funny.
He had fun. He had fun.
Yeah.
Or lots of little things. Sometimes even makes us stress, but that you remember always with a smile. Lots of things, and I don't even know how to begin from. Lots of things. Lots.
So let's talk about Venice then.
Mm-hmm.
In one sentence, what is Venice?
My reason of life.
Oh, I like this. I really like this.
It was not prepared. Maybe it's even too strong, but it's
true. When you don't prepare, it's even better because it comes from the heart, doesn't it? Listen, a message you would like to share with the people that are listening about the importance of art, culture, and Venice.
Culture is the way that give you the possibility of understand. And in order to be part of the cultural heritage we have, first of all, we have to understand. So, otherwise, unfortunately, with our social media now, we live, the risk is also for young generation to live a very superficial knowledge. And
it's not just a risk. It's happening, unfortunately.
It's happening, superficial life. So culture is the most important. Makes you sometimes later uncertain about everything, because all culture you have, and more uncertain you will be. But
Yeah.
this is part of knowledge,
Mhm.
because this will always push you to know more, push you to understand, to go deep into things, not to remain at the very. Venice is the constant inspiration of culture, and it always gives you it always push you to understand more, because it's a mystery. Every corner is something, or hide something
I know.
that needs to be explored. It's like living in Venice is living in a place that you will never know, a place that will always sorprendere,
Surprises you. Yes.
surprise you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so that is obviously you have to have the eyes, the open eyes of your heart to understand all this.
Last question. I swear, this is the last one. Antonia, you are a Venetian through and through. You grew up in Venice and everything. And, it's rhetoric to say that Venice has changed. We all know that.
Yeah.
But what is the thing that you miss the most about the Venice of the days gone by, when you were younger, even 10 years ago, whatever? What's the thing that you miss the most?
The fact that the Genius Loci existed at that time.
Yeah.
We were a community. I mean, even if, everybody in Venice, we're a little bit not like, but I was feeling we were a community.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think, we are very individual, and not too bound each to the other.
Yeah.
It's like, and especially this was even worse after COVID. I feel alone sometimes in the city.
Yeah.
I feel alone.
In a city that has thousands of people every day. But I totally agree. I totally agree on that. And I really was curious to know from somebody that, I don't live in Venice, and I get a feeling when I come to work every day. So I think if I have a feeling and I don't even live there, I can just barely imagine what you guys that live in the city feel like.
But I'm very lucky because I have a team, and every day at the beginning of the day, I have to, organize a magnificent team of young people. And even if in some moments when I'm not working, I feel that way while I'm working and I'm dedicating my work to Venice, I feel alive. My young people with this, bright eyes looking at me, and wanted to develop in, what has been created recently, because obviously Ballo del Doge is a recent thing, and they want to project this in the future, because we need future. And from my little side, this is the future, my future. That's what I can give to my Ballo del Doge. I really hope there will be something that will last.
Oh, absolutely.
Together with a young team, we recognize the value.
Yes. I'm pretty sure. So, where can people find you online, both website and social medias, please?
Yes, there is. I don't follow, so I don't. I'm not a very social person, but there are people.
You have your social media team. I know you do. Well, I would be surprised if you were doing it, because then you really would be Wonder Woman. Because how would you have a time to do your social media too?
I don't do that. I don't follow my social media, but I have a profile, two profiles. One Il Ballo del Doge, and the other one Antonia Sautter.
Okay, and the websites
is ilballodeldoge.com.
Perfetto. Antonia, I was so happy to talk to you, and I can't believe it. When you were saying things, it's like you were reading my mind. I think people like us sometimes are a little bit misunderstood, because I think we are always, running around and things, and people don't get that it's because we got so many. We think we say one thing, but we thought about thousands in our head before.
It's like this. It's true. Yes, it's true.
Thank you again, and I'll let you go because I know you're very busy.
I thank you for this marvelous conversation.
Thank you, and everybody, Go and see her beautiful creation. By the way, I love your kimonos. I
but
love your kimonos. I love your
they
kimonos.
can come and visit me at the boutique, and from the boutique, I will be very happy to show to take them to the atelier. Good. Where there are the costumes.
You have the
life.
costumes, but also you have bags of shoes.
Yes, this is something.
And the kimonos that are absolutely. I still remember your beautiful fashion show that you did. Where was it? Palazzo. Was it Palazzo Grimani? I think it
Grimani,
was.
yes.
Oh
yes,
my God!
It's
one of the most beautiful fashion show I've ever been in my life.
Oh, thank you.
And now those kimonos. I mean, the models were gorgeous, but the kimonos were like every time one came out, it was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It was
this is my other big passion, fashion. Fashion, it is not fashion, it's craft, because, it's not, they have only one piece, one of a kind. It's not fashion.
And well, it is a true fashion.
From a business point of view.
Yes, but from the luxury and the pleasure of owning something, that's how fashion should be. One of a kind on everything. Antonia, thank you again.
Ciao,
bye
cara,
bye.
è stato un piacere.
Grazie, ciao ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you again, Antonia, for talking to us. And you can find Antonia and her splendid creations at www.ilballodeldoge.com and on all social medias at Il Ballo del Doge. Thank you again for listening. Venice Talks podcast is a production of Sentire Media, created, produced and hosted by me, Monica Cesarato. Follow Venice Talks wherever you get your podcast, and if you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me over at www.monicacesarato.com and on all social medias with the handle at Monica Cesarato, where you can follow my adventures around Venice. And don't forget, if you love this episode, please rate it and leave a review. It's very much appreciated.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.